Ah. Okay, I'm back. So I was touching things. $29, $50, $24. Okay, that looks good. I think I took everything I needed there. Little dotty. Okay, I got this thing to do. This is the chassis. Where is? Oops. Took the steering wheel with the inside. Yeah, you have to get the steering wheel as a standalone with all the stuff. Come on. This. Because it's gonna move in GTA 5. Putain de sa race. That's with that. Wait. That's with the steering wheel. Okay. This is with this. This is with this. So got the. Come on. I got the steering wheel. And all the rest is the stuff of the interior. Yep. We got that. Can just hide these windows. This. seats. I'm gonna just modify slightly this thing because I don't want it to hide the character. Don't need that anymore. Just push it back so that on the rear you... Nope. In fact, yes. In fact, gotta push it back. This. Like this, it's enough. This is the roll cage. This stuff is gonna go with it. Like that. Got the mirror inside, that we go with the inside. Like this. This is the exhaust. Get the suspensions. You don't need it separated from anything, so attaching. What? Okay. Just attach them like that. Yeah, so in fact these suspensions are used for every models. They're the same thing every time. The rear is chrome, the front is white. Okay. Get that, we got that, and we got that. Also that. Okay. So we can delete these ones. We won't need them, as we're gonna just copy paste the wheel with a little trick. But we have to keep the brakes. These ones are nice. But we got it being deleted. And we keep this one. Like this. We can just stick those two together. Man, I don't fucking know what to do with that. What the hell? Is it even mapped? Vehicle lights 128. I think that it's a number. Oh, okay, I got it. That side should be... I think I'm gonna just leave it like that, in fact. this part. Okay. So the inside, the chassis, I'm gonna rename things. Hood, trunk, chassis, that should be the windscreen. This thing is the wheel left, front, and this is the wheel left rear. This. What are all those things yet? Oh, yeah, we got the rear suspension too to do. To attach at least. This. Oh, okay. Got this, we got this, we got this. Join. Yep. This. And I just join the front and the rear. Okay. Very good. Okay. So you maybe wonder why I'm doing all those things, why I'm joining the front grille, why I'm joining suspension together, why I'm leaving the exhaust there, even if I can attach it to the chassis, like those side and all. In fact, when you have your car in the modeler, you need to separate everything depending of the overall size of one single object and also about the application of what you have on the car. So a door must be standalone because it's opening. Windows can be too because of the weight. If you want to make them crashable, like it breaks, they must be separated. If you, for example, have need to correct this stuff. If you have those parts, you can just merge them to the one that will, for example, have damages to them. If you want to make a collision for the front bumper, you have to separate it from the overall body. The wheels must be as one piece because it's gonna turn and it will all be as one single shader, so it's easier to have them like that. Even if you have multiple shaders, and even if I think that you can have everything separated, it's useless to not have them together. I let the disc inside, as you can see, because it's gonna turn with the wheel in the modeler. I mean in game. But the brakes are separated because they won't move, but they will turn with the wheel. So I'll have to adapt it to be on the same axis of the wheel and have it a proper name for that. The grill is as it is. If you would had an engine, could have joined it too because you won't really use it unless you want to make it shaking in game. The grill there is, I don't know, I'll just join it to that. You don't really need to separate it from the chassis, but as there is already 60k no, it's edges, 35k polygons. I don't want to go to the 70k and more because that's the game limit. And if you overpass that limit, you're gonna just make your game crashing and the model won't even spawn in game. That's why the seats, same thing. It's recognized in game as seats. The inside of the car can be merged too, unless you're not merging doors or wheels, because the wheels must move and doors must open, of course. And for example, if you want to make the dials, how would you say that? Dials. this shit, okay? If you want to make them moving, you have to use GTA 5 stuff, but as it's a drift car and we are in GTA 5, I'm not gonna make it. Same as for those screens, like we don't really care about that. What else? I don't know. Yeah, I said that I must correct that little thing there. Like, why the heck this is happening? I can't see anything like that. Okay, never mind. I think it's this one maybe, at the rear. Okay, now. No, I'm just trying to fix these things quickly. But nothing is very quick. That's not the perfect fix, but it will be enough for what we want to do. We're gonna do. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so that's the So that's the glass. That's the caliper. Blackness and the stuff. And I think that I can, yeah, I can just attach this to that. Caliper, cockpit. Uh-huh. What is you doing there, sir? You alone? You not used for anything. Okay, bye-bye. Headlight glass, headlight on. Okay. So we got the grill. Front grill, the run light. Okay. Running light, rear sub. Let's just stick that. We got the steering wheel. What's that thing there? I'm gonna apply the shader later. Suspension. Just rename things so that I know what I'm talking about. This would be the dual left front. This is the dual rear right. This is the door rear, no, front right. Come on, fingers. This is the rear bumper. This is the front bumper. These are the seats. Where is the left door? Door left. Door. Front left. Diffuser. Attach it to the front bumper. Headlight black. Okay. Hood inside. Roll cage. Oh, we got a brake light in the middle. Okay. Roll cage. Rear lights back. Come on, another one. Why? Just verticals together. Come on. Get out. You serious? Didn't do it before? Okay. Huh. Oops. That's the wrong number. Boom. Okay. Why? Don't know. Those are the signals. Weird stuff. Signal rear, so that's the reverse lights. Ah. Oh yeah. That's the glass. Reverse lights. Weird stuff. Steering column. Should be stick to the thing. Third brake lights. What's the difference? Another one. Put that brake light there. And the body. What for? Okay. Wheel left, front, rear, and widescreen, and this is done. At least for the blender part. We got a lot of stuff to do after, but that was the most nasty thing to do. Separating everything, checking that all the textures look supplied, like it looks for some of the things, like you see there is nothing, so we won't be able to do anything for that. Yeah. Got all the parts separated. We got the wheels. What we're gonna do is something a little different from a normal conversion, because what I do at first, when I do the wheels, I rotate it so that on its axis it's properly placed, like that it's not cambered. And then I make dummies, it's like little squares on each sides where should be the actual wheels. But there, as the front and rear will be different, this one will be white and this one will be chromed inside. What I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna separate them and make it so that the car is spawning on the front this ones on both sides and on the rear these ones, and that the car can still have custom wheels, like as if you want to tune them to change for something else you can. So that was it for the preparation. Now what you're gonna do, what I recommend even before that, because I did it very lately after, you make a file folder for your car and you save it as, and you put a proper name, don't do like me, change the X1 out 1110. You save first the overall Blender file, and then what you do, you go to export as wavefront OBJ where you want, and you go down there, very important, like on the part when you have to import the car, you still don't want it as OBJ objects, but as groups. And when it's done, you export. It's gonna take some time depending of the overall poly count and all the parts. As you can see, there is a lot less part than in the beginning. And when this is done, well, you are done for Blender, which is cool, I guess. So now, what I recommend, take those things, the OBJ that you had before and the texture, and put them where you did the folder for the car save on Blender file. Paste it there. You don't need to keep that, but if you want to keep them, I'm gonna just leave it like that. That's what you're gonna import in ZModeler, and the textures are all there for the normal ones. And we have our liveries there. So extra step before starting ZModeler, you're gonna take the liveries and put them on your car file. Where is Steam? Content, cars. Like this. Come on. Skins. Copy. Texture and paste. Nah, fuck. Should be inside the library folder. Like this. And now we go to the cmodeler part. If you don't have the modeler, I'm gonna give you one. If you don't have it, I'm gonna give you a link. So I'm gonna also share the base textures that you need for at least having having a base for example, the glasses and a plastic texture for the spec map. I'm gonna explain it later, and the little texture that are needed in almost all the shaders that we're gonna do. So here I'm adding them. You won't have them in the same place, of course, but I'm gonna add them on the link. Like this. No. This one, that's the glass. Then share DDS. Those three and no. Shit. Ah? Oh fuck. Okay. Hopefully they're still there. So these are the main ones. Glass, black texture. That I will remove because I'm gonna add another one that I made for the car. It's the exact same, but it's not a DDS. Black normal, this carbon, and this vehicle gene spec map. Don't really need to know exactly what they do for now. And now you just add all these textures, even if some won't be used. I think that some will be used. And I'll add also the free libraries. Gonna rename them, please. It's the fourth one. What's happening? Come on. Yep. What the fuck? You probably wondering why I'm doing this like that. I'm naming them skin, sign and all. It's because the first one must be a blank texture, which will be the first livery of the car, so that you can have just the paint applying. Don't need to have only liveries on it. And the second thing is that I'm adding a number after skin sign because it's just the number that leads to the livery number 1, 2, 3, 4 that you're gonna add. Where it is, there. Texture. Skin sign 1, here. So now we have all the textures. Remove this shit. What the fuck did they put that? It's maybe the actual thing on the car. Okay. So yeah, you need all the car textures, the liveries. You rename them at skin sign 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Yeah, those are different. You will add this one that I'm gonna give you. It's nothing special, it's just a blank texture with nothing inside. You're gonna also add what I added in first, the glass, the vehicle share there, and I think that I didn't add the plastic spec yet. Yeah, need to add this one too. Yep, here. So when that's done, we're gonna import the car. So you go where it is, here, and hit import. Just like that. The best thing would have been to place it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it before. I'm gonna import it after. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, okay, there is nothing. Okay. So this is just to adapt the car waiting game so that it don't bounce on the front anywhere when you accelerate and when you're moving left and right. So for that, you just have to try to figure out where is the middle line and try to make it so that it's not too far from the middle of the wheels there. It doesn't matter if it's not in the middle of the car. You just need to have it like this, like on the middle of it. Is it left and right properly done? I don't know, never mind. So yeah, so that's the last thing that you have to do with the model before importing it. I forgot about that. So you take the wheel placement and you have to like put them so that it's not too far from the middle of the wheel here on the axis. It's a little weird to explain, but the less you have gap between the middle of the wheels and the middle of the whirl, actually, the better it will stick to its position while moving front and rear, like when you're accelerating and when you're going back. And as a little, how can I say that? As a little, I don't know, fuck it. Like I'm trying to make it around middle of the front bumper and not too close from the middle of the wheels. So like this should be okay. Doesn't necessarily need to be on the middle of the whole car, because the more you put it on the back, the more it's gonna bounce on front and rear. So yeah, like this it's okay. We're gonna export it again. This as LPG groups, yeah. And now import. Whoops. No, it's okay. Yeah. So now we have the car. It doesn't have any shaders on it. Done, actually. What the fuck? Huh. What the hell? Okay. Let's do it again. Shit. So we had the glass, we had the plastic. Now the vehicle share thing. Yes, was 3, but the last one, 2. Now we add the car textures. And deliveries. Fucking hell, why does it showing the preview? I don't care about that. I'll just copy paste them there. Come on, that's just a 2K texture. Don't be silly. Oh, that's because he was saving. Oh yeah, and the skin sign one. Nope. Copy. Like this. And then we take the car. Okay. Now it's good. Because we see the rear wheels, the rear lights are applied properly. So first of all, before anything, do pivot reset to origin. Go on the selection tool, take this one, quadra shape, right click, keep pressed, select everything. Now go on modify, you go on rotate nodes, and you be sure that you get only check the rotate geometry. So you check it, you click here on the y-axis, you click one time, and you add 18 to rotate it at 180 degree. Because right now the left is in the right and the right on the left. Press enter to apply it and OK. Up, like this. So that was the first thing to do. Now the second one. We will make the livery applying properly. So for that, we gotta first find where it is. Livery. Okay, fuck this shit. So what I did, I just select everything and press click on polygon so that I can take one single polygon, please. Yeah, to move the camera, you use the Alt button pressed and the left click. Middle one is like in Blender, it makes it moving like this. Just the middle. And Alt left click does that. Alt right makes you zooming in and out. So I need to select one polygon. So I have to go on the outside like this. Now this is the shader panel where I got all the shaders on. I right click so that it actually showed on the selection which one it is. So this is the body. I'm gonna just take it, drag and drop it on the top. And you have to apply the paint shader to that. So you click there on GTA 5 vehicle paint and you do on paint 4. If you don't have any livery, you can just use paint 1. It will only remove one thing on it. It's the detail 2 panel there. Detail 1 is for the paint. and the second one there for livery. And if you don't want to have anything else that only the paint or the livery, you can just use the paint one, but actually they are on almost every Assetto Corsa cars you're using the paint for, because you have a livery and you want, maybe, I don't know, to also be able to use the regular paint if you don't want to have a livery on the car directly, but applied when you want. So what I do is that I put the vehicle generic spec map on the first detail there. So it's this one, white. On detail 2, I will put, just for the test, the skin sign 2. But when you're gonna finish the car, you have to place the first one. It's very important. But there, place the second one. The mask, mainly, almost always this texture, carbon mesh shader spec. So you'll see sometime I'm gonna go a little recklessly applying those textures, because the details sometimes it's just the texture of the part as shader. The details who won't be there. The mask is only for the paint, but it's a third one. And the spec map is always white when it's not something that gets shine. So there, just leave it like that. Anyway, I'm gonna explain all that when needed. So now what you do when you have all like that, when you select everything earlier with this tool, when you go on polygon mode, you click on it, so it shows every polygon of the car. You found out which shader is the body by clicking on one part. Very important to have actually one part of the car that have the livery on, or just the paint on, depending on the car you're making. If you don't want a livery, just take the paint. When you found it, apply the shader vehicle generic vehicle paint, 4, and then you have to go there, and this is to select every single polygons from what you have as a selectable object. Don't know if we say it like that. Whatever. You take the paint one, so we saw that it's this one. You have to select everything. And now you do like this. You go on surface, you edit UV, and you left click anywhere where there is the body. So it's gonna show you this window, and what we're gonna do is, in fact, when you are on the view of the car, the mapping actually is on this texture. So there is no livery applicable right now. But what we want to do is to transfer the mapping there to there. Because on this one there is a livery, but it's not actually recognized by the game as it. So that's what we're gonna change. So you left click, you go edit UV channel map, you take the second one because it's this one where we will have the livery. You go on generate new, then you click there, copy from channel number 1, where is the actual livery mapping, and then you put the mapping forced onto the shader, WC car body, and you click OK and you wait. And you'll see the magic occurring. Because we adapted the mapping in Blender, boom! The livery is working. Easy, isn't it? So now that we have that, we can just uncheck everything. So we go there on the quadra, which makes the selection tool like that. You keep Control pressed, right click to uncheck something. And if you want to check it, just right click and drag. So we uncheck everything. We go back on the object mode, and then we unselect again all of the car. So right now you have done the livery and the body thing. You don't have to change anything there at all. Just for the video, I'm gonna just change this thing. I think it was like that it appeared the best. Don't remember. And so what we're gonna do now is applying every shader to every part of the car properly. So let's start with this one. This is the brake caliper. So everything that's brake disc, a wheel, must use this shader type, vehicle tire. No, only for the, sorry, for the wheel. For the wheel, would use vehicle tire. If you have a brake disc, you can separate it and then having another shader. But if you want to merge the brake disc as I did, it must be as vehicle tire. And there we're gonna just put the mesh, because we can control the shiny effect of the object after with the textures. So here we got already the textures applied. Don't have to touch at all the detail. Blank normal, you change that only if you have, for example, another texture for that that's called NM, like normal map. It looks something like that. So you see that there is one on the tires, but there you just leave it with blank normal. After on the mask, like I said, it's always this one, copper match shade spec. And for the spec map here, because I don't want it to shine recklessly, I'm just gonna put the plastic spec 2. Like this. This one is done. And then we keep going. So what is this? Suspension. So it gets shine a little. So I'm gonna put a mesh as a vehicle mesh there. And then the texture is already applied. Blank normal, we leave it there. The mask is the carbon mesh shader spec. And I'm gonna put the spec map as plastic spec 2. It gives it a little plastic shiniest looking, but it's better than having like what you're gonna see on other shaders. Like I'm using the same thing as mask and spec map because I want it to shine a little. It doesn't look that bad. So now the suspension wasn't black. I hope that the texture isn't. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it just like I said. I'm gonna give it a shine this time by putting at the mask called mesh shader spec and this one too. I don't know if it's gonna shine a lot. I'm gonna see it later in game. It's easy to change after. This one, same thing, mesh. Everything that have a little shine, put it as mesh, and you put the spec map as carbon mesh shader spec and the mask too. Like this. Then we got this part of the suspension. And basically what you're seeing there as name is like the color code of the texture. And it should be the exact same color as on the detail map. It's written gold for some reason, I don't know why. So yeah, it's not exactly this one, I think. It's not the FFFFFF. It's not a problem. So again, mask and spec map, because I want it to shine a little, as that green texture. This one is the same as the one before, so it was made, as you can see. It got already its type, and it got everything already set up, like we did before, so you don't touch that. Same thing for this one. This thing is gonna be a black part that will be a little shiny. So again, mesh. In fact, it's not really a shine, it's more sun reflection. And for that, this carbon mesh shader spec is working properly. Tail side. Don't know why it's separated, but whatever. Same thing. A little shine. So what we have here? Okay, black. So it's gonna be black. We'll let the little shine, so carbon mesh shader spec, carbon mesh shader spec. Grill matte. I'm not gonna make it matte because I don't like how it looks. Little shine, so again, mesh. Like this. Like this. Okay, so now we have a little grill, and if I'm right, the texture have a transparency, yes, as you can see. The sides are transparent and you got the middle also. So for everything that must be transparent, and you'll see that I'm gonna trick a little the system, if I can say it like that. I'm gonna use this shader for also the glasses at some point. And it's the vehicle badge. And as you can see, we only see the part that is on the texture and the rest is transparent there. So we see through it. So now that it's applied, again a little shine. So up there, carbon mesh shader spec. This one is done. The body, we've done it before. This thing black need to be black. Little shine. You don't have to make it shiny, but I think it's better looking for some parts. And this one is actually carbon part, and I think it's gonna glitch in game, but we'll see that later. So same thing. Let the detail, let the bump map there, and you change the two others, mask and spec map, as the green texture. This thing would be black too, so we make it black too. Pretty obvious. Little shine, little shine. Undercarriage. I like to let this as completely matte. So for that I just put the vehicle interior too. And on this one you don't have to change anything but the mask. Again, the green texture. So in fact what the mask is doing, I found, for example for the wheels, that when you change the mask it's gonna make the dirt looking differently on it. So if it's completely green, when it's gonna be when you're gonna drive and you'll have like dust or whatever mud on your tire, it's gonna apply a transparency of the mask texture on it to generate a kind of little mud or raindrops that are sticking to your car, something like that. So I'm putting it at screen. I don't know if I can just like leave it on the blank texture like this so that it doesn't appear. But I'm not sure about I think that it affects something else and that's not right to do it like that. Anyway. I just hope, for example, that my doors aren't too much separated. Hope they're separated by just shaders. Because I think that now everything's separated depending of the shaders and the objects. But we'll see that later. So again, the black part, it doesn't necessarily need to be matte, so give a little shine. Shit, what? Okay, so the cabin now. I'm gonna do a quick save after. The cabin, same thing. I'm not gonna make it shiny, so interior too. Don't know if it's gonna look good, we'll see in game. But as it's just a bunch of polygons, I think it's better like that. And yeah, I said I'm gonna save. Just to be sure that it doesn't crash and that you can keep doing the conversion. It's auto saving. Oh, it's done. Okay. So I'm gonna do it too. It's F3D. And just in any cases. So yeah, that's one of the most boring part, like preparing the car. You have to apply every shaders a type and then you're gonna attach everything again. It was just to be sure that it's done properly initially, that we made it in Blender first, so that you don't have like, I don't know, dozens of shaders after, that you have to do one by one and then attach everything at the end. So this thing, I'm gonna do it is as interior too, just because outside I don't need anything to shine outside of the body and the kind of black plastics and chrome parts. Same thing for this one. No shine, interior too. Up. Don't have to change spec map. Again, interior 2. Change the mask. This is gonna be a part that we'd be looking at it outside, so little shine. We make it as a mesh. Just change it to other textures. This. This one's gonna be inside, we don't care about the shine. Again, interior 2. And so long. How we say it? So and so on, or and so long, I don't know. What the hell? Again, a little polygon, I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Okay, I'm just gonna hide it for now. This is not gonna be plastic. Okay, gonna do a little trick there. Gonna use the mesh, but it's not gonna shine. So same thing. Use the mask, carbon shader spec, but there I'm gonna use this one because I want it to be a little more brighter than the regular black that will appear if you just make it as interior too. Same thing there. Basically everything that's black that you don't want to be shiny, to reflect anything, use the mesh and just put it as plastic, because otherwise it's gonna look really, really dark. We don't really want to be dark as fuck. So those things are gonna be as mesh too. Little shine. There. Okay, so now we face the first light. So the lights must be fully on the top of everything else except the default material, because you can't put it on top of that. And those things are gonna be as vehicle light emissive. because they're gonna emit a light. Easy as that. So we just change this texture. And we are gonna do later the little thing to make them lighting in the game when you're braking. What are these? These are the lights too, but are they the actual lights? Or yes, they are, apparently. Okay, so same thing. Vehicle generic, light emissive. Put it on the top. Doesn't matter which one is the first. The moment there is nothing on top of it, that's not a light, unless it's the default. Again, carbon mesh shader, spec. We can leave it as spec map white. We don't really care about that. What is this? Oh yeah, the thing on the front. Was that maybe, oh shit, transparent? What it is? No, it's like a cable, okay. No shine, interior too. Just apply this one. This part will be mainly invisible, so you don't really care about what you're gonna put, but I just put the regular shiny thing on that, so that I don't bother with it anymore. If they maybe appear somewhere, so that doesn't really look like it's the dark black that absorb any light. And I think there is a texture for that as normal. Nope, okay. Never mind. So I put the mesh. Little tip too, to avoid little glitches after. Don't start to use your mouse wheel to move that thing, because if you come to those places, it's gonna just start to move them all everywhere and gonna glitch after. Gonna have some errors and can look weird after. So always drag and put it on up and down. So this one must shine, in my opinion. Yep, the dark aluminium is always a shiny thing. I'm gonna put the other one too, like that. Never knows. Oh no, it's not this one, it's this one after. In fact, it should be green. Should use the green one, not the white. Because if I put it as white, it's gonna be completely chrome. I don't want that. And for those ones, that's the light. That's the light. So as light emissive. Put it on top. I'll just check something. The thing around. Oh yeah, let's just make it chrome. Nah. If it's the same, don't touch it. Never mind. Gonna leave it like that. Okay. Little trick. Badge. And we're gonna change the texture because it's too transparent for me. Let's use the glass. Just like that. And we'll leave spec map. Roll cage. White. Yep. So there, as it's white, you don't care about the spec map, you just leave it white. If I remember well, that's how it should be. This thing is the foam, don't know how to say it, fuck. No shine. Like this. These are the reversing lights. Yep. Light emissive. There. And as they're too transparent for me, I'm gonna do a little thing right now. After that. They're too transparent there. Not appearing properly. Tail map. Okay. Let's just go open it. Control O. Tail map. So to make it less transparent, you just copy it. Add a layer, paste it. Add a layer, paste it. Until you have exactly what you want. So I think this one will be okay like that. So tail map, back. Come on. Yep. Come on. Gonna add the other one. This one. So it's still transparent, but it won't be that much. And I think that's gonna have to do the same thing there. Oh no, this one is the tricky trick badge. It's not the light, it's actually the glass. Yep. So this one is all... I touched it. Fuck. That's okay. Okay. Fuck up. Yeah, little shine, little shine. Not much. That's the rear of the seats. That's the part that won't shine. Even if it's... no, it's better to put it as mesh, I think. Just do the plastic thing. This one will have a little shine. It's getting pretty boring to do that. Just gonna put some music. If you don't like it, well, just cut the sound, put yours.
Your niggas cradle with a knife in your navel. Rap related, criminally activated and evil. I wouldn't wanna be behind my fucking desert eagle to the end. I'm telling all friends and enemies. You see what I got to make you freeze to touch me utilities. Complete mode, wanted on the streets of the East Coast. Young guns fight and niggas bleed. I be shining like white diamonds and crystals, glistening holding pistols. The missing sample roll of a roller, that presidential store, all of potential, $1 billion ball of potential, sorta. All the call on the nigga, I be sure to get you K cash flow.
So here we're facing what I said. Everything that's on the wheel must be as vehicle tire. And there you have to reapply the texture properly because it's adding those 4 ones that are completely shit that we don't want to use. Just make it bigger. Where it is. There. And there is a normal. This one, the bump. On bump map. The mask there is none, so we just put the green one. And the spec map, important plastic spec too. Oh, I was missing some music.
It ain't nothing, cause they want something. So I'ma come in the dump and start down and start up while my beat is bumping. Thugging till my fucking last numb. With Lil Pole and Castro. Who you thought was on that asshole? Don't ask though. Alloy immortals doing this dinner on the slide, so ain't no chance to hide when we ride. My alien's Gaddafi. Trump type so fast can't copy. 6'3" and copy.
Same thing there. Get both of the texture and the normal map, so you have to apply the normal map too. The green one is shade spec and the plastic spec too. And spec map. Ray disc. Mesh with plastic and the spec map. Do not shine that much. Check if it gathers. So we like the pump map as it was. Wait. That must be a tire. Dump. What did I do? Did I smash? It's gonna be attached to it.
Castro, Gaddafi, Mussolini, I mean, Napoleon, Comey, which y'all really want to do. Like them niggas say, what would you do? Yeah, nigga. Last year we was thug life, right? This year we thug life, right? We outlaw immortals. We die, nigga, but we multiply, right? We like legends, nigga, like forever. Like, I'll make you famous, motherfucker. I tell my Newsweek and Time magazine, all that old good shit.
Where it is? The hell? Fucking go out. There's maybe no textures for that. Just gonna use the wheel ones. Yeah, probably. Oh. No, it's this one. Sensor cap. Yep. No. Again. Don't have a playlist.
The blind stares of a million pairs.
Yep.
Give me my money in stacks and lace my bitches with non-figures. Real niggas fingers on nickel-bladed non-triggers. Must see my enemies defeated. I catch them while they coked up and weeded. Open fire, now them niggas bleeding. See me in flesh and test and get your chest blown. Straight out the west, don't get blown. My adversaries cry like hoes, open and shut like doors.
here I'm just putting it as light emissive because I want the dials to light up when it's night, to light up. But I'm not gonna put anything to make it lightable or whatever. Same thing there. A day shouldn't really be visible, so it's one of the best things to do if you want them to light up. Safe, okay. Haha. Color caps when you see Tupac. Oh.
You motherfuckers know what time it is. I don't even know why I'm on this track. Y'all niggas ain't even on my level. I'ma let my little homies ride on you bitch made ass bad boy bitches.
Get out the way, yo, get out the way, yo. Biggie Smalls just got dropped. Little move past the Mac and let me hit him in his back. Frank White need to get spanked right for setting traps. Little accident murderers, and I ain't never heard of ya. Poisonous cats attack when I'm serving ya. Spank the shake, your whole style when I gank. Guard your rank, cause I'ma slam your ass in the paint. Puffy weaker than the fucking block I'm running through, nigga. And I'm smoking Junior Mafia in front of you, nigga. With the ready power, tucking my gas under my Eddie Bauer. Your clout petty sour, I put packages every hour. Hit 'em up.
Grab your blocks when you see Tupac. Call the cops when you see Tupac. Who shot me, but your punks didn't finish. Now you're about to feel the wrath of a menace. Nigga, we hit 'em up. People, how we do it, keep it real. It's penitentiary steel. This ain't no freestyle battle. All you niggas getting killed with your mouths open. Trying to come up off of me, you in the clouds open. Smoking dope, it's like a Sherman. Niggas think they learn to fly, but they burn, motherfucker, you deserve to die. Talking about you getting money, but it's funny to me. All you niggas living bummy while you fucking with me. I'm a self-made millionaire, thug living out of prison, pistols in the air. Biggie, remember when I used to let you sleep on the couch and beg a bitch to let you sleep in the house? Now it's all about Versace, you copy my style. 5 shots couldn't drop me, I took it and smiled. Now I'm about to set the record straight. With my AK, I'm still the thug that you love to hate. Motherfucker, I
I'm
hear
from any W jurors with plenty murders occurs. No point to comments, we bring the drama to all you heard. Now check the scenario. Little C's, I bring you fake G's to your knees. Copping please in these scenario. Little Kim, is you coked up or doped up? Little Junior Whopper click smoked up. What the fuck is you stupid? I take money, crashing and mashes through Brooklyn. With my click looting, shooting and polluting your block. With 15 shot, cock lock to your knot. Outlaw mafia click, moving up another notch. In your box top spots, get mopped and dropped. All your fake ass East Coast props brainstormed and locked.
user, beat writer, a pop style taker. I tell you to your face, you ain't shit but a faker. So for the Alizé with a chaser, about to get murdered for the paper. Edie, I mean approach the scene of the caper like a loke with low season and a choke. Toting smoke, we ain't no motherfucking joke. Dog like niggas better be known. We approaching in the wide open gun smoking. No need for hoping it's a battle lost. I got 'em crossed as soon as the funk is popping off. Nigga, I hit 'em up. Now you tell me who won. I see them, they run. They don't wanna see us. Whole Junior Mafia clique dressing up trying to be us. How the fuck they gonna be the mob when we always on our job? We millionaires. Killing ain't fair, but somebody gotta do it. Oh yeah, Mob Deep. You wanna fuck with us? You little young ass motherfuckers. Don't one of you niggas got sickle cell or something? You fucking with me, nigga. You fuck around, have a seizure or a heart attack. You better back the fuck up before you get smacked the fuck up. It's how we do it on our side. Any of you niggas from New York that wanna bring it, bring it. But we ain't singing, we bringing drama. Fuck you and your motherfucking mama. We gon' kill all you motherfuckers. Now when I came out, I told you it was just about Biggie. Then everybody had to open their mouth with a motherfucker opinion. Well, this how we gonna do this. Fuck Mob Deep, fuck Biggie, fuck Bad Boy as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And if you wanna be down with Bad Boy, then fuck you too. Chino XL, fuck you too. All you motherfuckers, fuck you too. All of y'all motherfuckers, fuck you, die slow, motherfucker. My phone make sure all y'all kids don't grow. You motherfuckers can't be us or see us. We motherfucking thug like riders, west side till we die. Out here in California, nigga, we warn you, we'll
Snoop Dogg and D.R.E. D.R.E. Guess who's back? Still doing that, Andre? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Check me out. It's still Dre Day, AK. Though I've grown a lot, can't keep it home a lot. Cause when I frequent the spots that I'm known to rock, you hear the bass from the truck when I'm on the block. Ladies, they pay homage, but haters say Dre fell off. How? My last album was The Chronic. They wanna know if he still got it. They say raps change. They wanna know how I feel about it.
You ain't up on page.
Dr. Dre is the name, I'm ahead of my game. Still puffin' my leaf, still with the beats. Still not loving police. Still rock my khakis with a cuff and a crease. Still got love for the streets, reppin' 213. Still the beats bang, still doing my thing. Since I left, ain't too much change. Still,
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the
I'm
D.R.E.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the D.R.E. Since the last time you heard from me, I lost some friends. Well, hell, me and Snoop, we dipping again. Kept my ear to the streets. Signed Eminem. He's triple platinum, doing 50 a week. Still, I stay close to the heat. And even when I was close to defeat, I rose to my feet. My life's like a soundtrack I wrote to the beat. Street rap like Cali weed. I smoke till I'm asleep. Wake up in the AM, compose a beat. I bring the fire till you're soaking in your seat. It's not a fluke, it's been tried, I'm the truth. Since turn out the lights from the world-class wrecking crew, I'm still at it, after mathematics. In the home of drive-bys and acmatics. Swap meets, sticky green and bad traffic. I dip through, then I give you the
I'm
D.R.E.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the
I'm
D.R.E.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the D.R.E. It ain't nothing but mo hot shit. Another classic CD for y'all to vibe with. Whether you're coolin' on the corner with your fly, laid back in the shack, play this track. I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
I'll break your neck, damn near put your face in your lap. Try to be the king, but the ace is back.
So you ain't up on things.
Dr. Dre be the name, still running the game, still got it wrapped like a mummy. Still ain't tripping, love to see young blacks get money. Spend time out the hood, take their moms out the hood. Hit my boys off with jobs, no more living hard. Barbecues every day, driving fancy cars. Still gon' get mine
I'm
regardless.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the
I'm
D.R.E.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the
I'm
D.R.E.
representing for them gangsters all across the world.
Still,
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl.
still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the D.R.E.
Like that? Right back up in you. 9-5 plus 4 pennies. Add that shit up. D.R.E. Right back up on top of things. Smoke some with your dog. No stress, no seeds, no stems, no sticks. Some of that real sticky, icky. Ooh wee. Put it in the air. Boy, use a fool, D.R.
I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police bustin' at me, but they can't do nothing to that shit. I'm going to the wild shit on my street. Really go on in the mind like the police bustin' get down for this. But they can't constantly shoot the G. I'm spending money over that shit side. I'm just joking rider. You don't wanna fuck with me, stay on the grind. Got the police crossing me. My ambitions as a rider. My ambitions without God was born rough and rugged. I dress in the man public, my attitude was bucket. Motherfuckers love it to be a soldier. Must maintain composure at ease, though life is complicated. Only what you make it to be. And my ambitions as a rider, the capture while she hot and horns go up inside her. Then I spit some game in the ear, go to the telly ho. You put with money in the bin, this bitch I'm belly broke. I'm smoking bomb ass weed, feeling crucial. From playing
What is this?
feeling neutral. From hustling and praying to begging motherfuckers to pay us. I got no time for these bitches, cause these hoes try to play us. Some on a meal, ticket missing, want a
Shit is upside down. Never mind.
No plus no glory, my nigga, bitch got the game distorted. Now it's on and it's on because I said so. Can't trust the bitch in the business, so I got with damn bro. Now these money hungry bitches getting suspicious. Started plotting and planning on the scheme to come and trick us. But thug niggas be on point and game tight. Recycling Bogart, strapped up the same night. Got problems and handle it, motherfuckers see me. These niggas
Okay, much about this ones.
and now you got me right beside you. Hoping you listen, I catch you paying attention to my ambitions as a rider.
Just leave it in Chrome, whatever.
It was my only wish to rise above these jealous coward motherfuckers I despise. When it's time to ride, I was the first off inside. Give me the nod, I'm ready to die right here tonight. Motherfuck they like. That's what they screaming as they drill me, but I'm off to kill. So open fire, so you kill me, witness my steel. Spitting it adversaries, envious and after me. I'd rather die before they capture me. Watch me bleed. Mama come rescue me, I'm suicidal, thinking thoughts. I'm innocent, said every bullet's flying when I'm cold. Fuck too much jail time, better days sacrifice. Don't get a chance to do me like they did my nigga tight. Thug it for life, and if you right, the nigga die for it. And the motherfuckers try, at least you try for it. When it's time to die, to be a man and pick the way you lead. Fuck peace and the police, my ambitions as a rider. My ambitions as a rider. My murderous lyrics equal with spirit to the thugs before me. Stay off the block, you baby got, cause I know they coming for me. I've been hesitant to reappear, been away for years, never back my abstract. Been reduced to tears, questing my method to switch the speed. Show us a bitch and bleed, niggas are feeling vibe. My mother's corrupt the seed, blast me but they didn't finish. Didn't diminish my powers, so now I'm back to be a motherfucking menace. They cowards, that's why they try to set me up. Have bitch ass niggas on my team, so indeed they wet me up. But I'm back, reincarnated, incarcerated at the time I called the breakaway to God made it. Listen with lyrics that's legendary, musical mercenary for money. I had these motherfuckers buried, getting much man in jail. Niggas telling me to kill it, knowing when I get out they gon' feel it. Witness the realest of who rider when I put the shit inside you. Rise from all your people when they find you. But remind you, my history of proof authentic. Revenge on the niggas to play me, and all the cowards that was down with it. Now it's your nigga right beside you. Hoping you listen, got you paying attention to my ambitions as a rider. My ambitions as a rider. But they can't do nothing to I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police rushing at me. But they can't do nothing to and I'm screaming. I won't deny it.
For that there is a little change. So as it's a mirror, what you have to do is take a black texture as detail, put the mask as same thing, carbon mesh, and you leave it as spec map, so that in game is gonna be, because it's a mesh, it's gonna be chrome and it will reflect everything. That's
Y'all know me,
cool.
still the same OG, but I've been low key. Hated on by most these niggas
Tempted
with
to
no
try
cheese, no
the
deals,
windows
no
there
deals, no
as
keys,
a badge.
No snowmobiles and no skis. Mad at me 'cause I can
And I'm
finally
gonna
afford to provide my
place
family with
these
groceries.
windows with
Got
the
a crib
ones
with a studio
actually
with a
on
saw full of tracks.
liveries.
To add to the wall full of plaques. Hanging up
Those
in the
ones.
office and back of my house like trophies. Did y'all think I'ma let my dough freeze? Hold please, you better bow down on both knees. Who you think taught you to smoke trees? Who you think brought you to ODs? Easy E's, Ice Cubes and DOCs. The Snoop D-O double G's. And a group that said motherfuck the police. Gave you a tape full of dope
It's
beats.
too
The
much
part where you
transparent.
broke through your hood. And when your album sales wasn't doing too good,
Okay,
who's the doc that he told you to go see? Y'all
okay,
gonna listen
I'm gonna
up
change that too.
All you niggas that said that I turn pop or the firm flop, y'all are the
I'm
reason
gonna
the
put
Dre
it as
ain't
PNG
big, no
because it's
sleep,
too
so fuck y'all, all of y'all. If y'all don't like
hot
me,
for
blow me.
it
Y'all
to
gonna keep fucking
render it, I
around
don't
with
know
me
why.
and turn me back to the old me.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of
glass
gibberish.
there.
Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. And motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
Plastic's
So
back.
what do you say to somebody you hate?
What?
Anyone trying to bring trouble your way? One of his off things in the blood of your way? Just study your tape of NWA. One day I was walking by with a Walkman on when I caught a guy, give me an awkward eye. You look and tangled him up in the parking lot with his talking eye.
So just like that. Use this tool to copy the color. So what I wanted is a transparent black and make the glass properly made because it would have been too transparent in game. I'm just making another layer under the actual window template and the template in the window library there to make the glass under that. Otherwise it won't appear at all. Like the glass won't appear, but the stickers will be there. It will be kind of floating. So that's how you avoid it. And windows.png like this. We're gonna change this one, replacing it with no, not the preview.
Okay, thank you, sir. Detroit, baby. From Grassy Street, reporting live. News Channel 8. I'm Shane Yamamoto. Back to the studio.
And when the cop came home, me and Dre stood next to a burnt down house with a can full of gas and a handful of matches.
Just like that.
Still weren't found out. Right here, so from here on out, it's the chronic too.
No, it's okay.
Starting the day, and tomorrow's anew. And I'm still local enough to choke you to death with a Charleston.
Oh, that's why it was appearing weirdly, because it's inside.
And a Mercedes Benz with the windows
Okay.
up when the temp goes up to the mid-80s. Calling men ladies.
Gonna be a mesh, by
But
the
I've
way,
been
so I don't
crazy.
care.
There's no way that you can save me. It's okay, go with him, Haley. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
If it was up to me, you motherfuckers stop coming up to me with your hands out, looking up to me like you want something free. When my last CD was out, you wasn't bumping me. But now that I got this little company, everybody wanna come to me like it was some disease. But you won't get a crumb from me, cause I'm from the streets of. I told them all them little gangsters, who you think helped mold them all? Now you wanna run around talking about guns like I ain't got none. What you think I sold them all? Cause I stay well off. Now all I get is hate mail all day saying Dre fell off. What? Cause I've been in the lab with a pen in the pad trying to get this damn label off. I ain't having that. This is the millennium of aftermath. It ain't gonna be nothing after that. So give me one more platinum plaque and fuck rap, you can have it back. So where's all the mad rappers at? It's like a jungle in this habitat. But all you savage cats know that I was strapped with gats when you were cuddling a cabbage patch.
Is that gonna light? Boom.
But nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
Who's next? Coming in stomping and sniffing from Bronson.
Tailor glasses.
Drink from Compton. I came to say
So as a badge, I put the glass on the texture.
I fall now with my rhymes on purpose. Y'all hating, pop up with Drake. Y'all nervous, y'all waiting, anticipating my arrival. California survivalist.
Like that.
Smash on any man rival this.
That's the door.
Anyone who don't ride with him.
That's the chrome part of the door. And to make it chrome, you just leave white spec map, as it's dark enough.
Machiavellian is Illuminati all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot.
Come with me.
And God said he should send his one begotten son to lead the wild into the ways of the man. Follow me. My flesh and my flesh. Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick, see. What do we have here now? I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. Picture paragraphs unloaded, wise words being quoted. Beat the weakness in the rap game and sold it. Bow down, pray to God, hoping that he's listening. seeing niggas coming for me. My diamonds when they glistening. Now pay attention, best man, please, Father. I'm a ghost. These killing fields, Hail Mary, catch me. If I go, let's go deep inside the solitary mind of a madman. Screams in the dark, evil lurks, enemies see me flee. Activate my head.
I'm gonna try something there.
Set trip, empty out my clip. Never stop to aim. Some say the game is all corrupted. Fucked in this shit. Stuck. Niggas is lucky if we bust out this shit. And plus, mama told me never stop until I bust it up. Fuck the world if they can't adjust. It's just as well. Hail Mary with me. Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see. What do we have here now? Do you wanna ride or die? La da 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 da.
Come with me.
Hail Mary, nigga, run
Want
quick,
these
see.
seeds.
What do we have here now? You wanna ride or die? La da 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 da. Penitentiaries is packed with promise makers. Never realized the precious time that bitch niggas is wasting. Institutionalized, I live my life a product made to crumble. Much too hardened for a smile. Way too crazy to be humble. We ballin', catch me, Father, please, cause I'm falling. In the liquor store, that's the Hennessy I hear calling. Can I get some more? Hell till I reach hell. I ain't scared. Mama checking in my bedroom. I ain't there. I got a head with no screws in it. What can I do? One life to live, but I got nothing to lose. Just me and you on a one-way trip to prison. Selling drugs, we all wrapped up in this living like the studs. To my homeboys and Clinton Max doing they bid. Raise hell to this real shit and feel this when they turn out the lights. I'll be there in the dark, looking eternal through my heart. Now Hail Mary, nigga, come with me. Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see. What do we have here now? Do you wanna ride or die? La da 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 da. Come with me. Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see. What do we have here now? Do you wanna ride or die? La da 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 da.
They got an APB out on my thug family. Since outlaws run these streets like these scandalous freaks. Our enemies dying now. Walk around half dead, head down. K blasted off a hand and see a tie. Tronic mixed it. Now I'm twisted, blistered, and high. Visions of me, thug living, getting me by. Forever live, and I multiply, survived by thugs. When I die, they won't cry unless they coming with slugs. Peep the whole scene and whatever's going on around me. Brain kinda cloudy, smoked out, feeling rowdy, ready to wet the party up. And whoever in that motherfucker nasty new street slugger, my heat seat suckers on the regular match.
Let's see if it works.
Integra, cock back, 60 seconds to the draw. That's when I'm dead in your feet first. You got a nice gap, but my heat's worse. From a thug to preaching church, I gave you love, now you eating dirt, needing work. And I ain't the nigga to put you on, cause word is born. When I was broke, I had to hustle till dawn. That's when the sun came up. It's only one way up. Hold your head, stay up. To all my niggas, get your pay and weight up.
I think it's gonna be visible in game rather than just there. I hope so. Anyway.
Hoping God don't close the gate. If it's on, then it's on. We raid beat breaks, outlaws on the paper chase. Can you relate to the shit I don't got? Be the shit I gotta take. Dealing with fate, hoping God don't close the gate.
Come with me.
Hail Mary, want these seeds.
What do we have here now?
We've been traveling on this weary road. Sometimes like the beat of every load, but we riding like a bullet. Hail Mary,
Hail Mary.
we won't worry, everything will curry. We're free like a bird in the tree. We won't worry, everything will curry. Yes, we're free like a bird in the tree. We're running from the penitentiary. This is the time for we liberty. Hail Mary, Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see. What do we have here now? Do you wanna ride or die? La 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 la. West Side, Outlaws, Machiavelli the Dawn, Solo, Illuminati, the 7 days.
what I'm trying to do is like giving a kind of offset, like you can see there, to the clothes. I don't know if it's gonna work, so we'll see later. It's taking a long time, but we are almost finished for that part. It's the most nasty one to do, so keep up, people, if you're still watching. It's almost over. I mean, it's not really far from over. So this one is done, this one is done, this one is done too. Yep. This one is done. This one is too. Yep. Wheel bolts. This one wasn't. No, there. Mirrors. Door cabin. Room wood. Yep. Boots. Got no rear shine, right? Oh, what happened? Yeah, it doesn't have it. Body emblem didn't done this one. It have to be shiny, not as this one, in my opinion. Rear bumper, inside of the rear bumper. Good. Rear part, mesh side. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna make it as plastic, not really dark. Yep. Just check for this one. So this shader shit is done. Should be. Maybe miss one or two, but at least this is done. You can take a little break. I should have two, but I want to finish it. So now we're gonna attach everything that should be attached to the part that must be. To do that, we're gonna modify, attach, and click on the thing to attach, and the other one to be attached. Do that for everything. Why the song is... Hi Biggie. This is, I'll just name them directly, so this must be hub LF. This is suspension, we don't really care about the name. This is the bar hub right front, hub left rear. This is gonna be, let's call it MISC B, I'm gonna explain that later. Let's attach this thing to that, so don't care. This thing to attach that to the grill. Calling it grill, but I don't really care about the name in fact. This will be our chassis where we're gonna attach everything else. Like this. Like this. The undercarriage too. The plastic around too. The room, let's call the cabin. Well, everything that must be on the chassis. And I'm gonna be like, okay, but what that is? Well, it's all the parts are necessary that can be attached to it until it's not getting to more than 70k polygons. So all this was already attached in fact on the car, but as it's exporting it as group RBG. So what it does, it takes an object, it checks if it have multiple shaders, if it separate every part of the object by shaders. That's why we ended up with all those parts inside the exported car. Gonna attach that to the MISC B, like this. You undo the light there. This is the brake light on the middle. We're gonna attach that on MISC A, where it would be all lights. Like those ones, like the front ones too, where they are. This will be the MISC C. In fact, gonna have everything of the grill, front radiator on that. Just like that. So you attach everything. This part is very quick. Those are the front lights. MISC A, as I said, everything that's gonna light up is gonna be MISC A for this part. Same thing for that. It's not necessarily like that, but I think it's one of the best way to do it. Where? Oh, there it is. I'm done. That's the roll cage. Let's just call it roll cage. This is the form of the roll cage. Let's put it with it. Those are the tail lights. So MISC A. Everything that's gonna light up is gonna be MISC A. This is gonna be with MISC B because it's not lighting, but it's a part of the lights. That's how I'm doing. Those are the seats. So you attach everything to them because they're called like that. This is the seat belt, kinda. This is the hub rear right, and this will be our front wheel. And you attach everything to it. Even the brake disc, because it's gonna turn around with it. And this is the wheel, left front, left rear. In fact, it's exhausting to make a tutorial like that. Like, I get to pause everything if I want to do something and cut things later, but as I want to finish it quickly, I'm just doing it in a row, having only one pose. So this is the steering wheel. I'm gonna have its specific axis, so it's gonna be separated from everything else. It's gonna turn when you turn. Easy to understand. And this is the inside. Everything is gonna be called interior, just to be easy to understand. I'm not even sure that the game recognizes that as something that should be on the car, because many things that he don't know what it is, he just says it like, okay, you name it like that, but if you have to specify, for example, a light, like I did for these ones, like they are light emissives for the dials, they're not gonna work properly, main. Like, I'm just saying it to you, and you're like, okay, never mind, I know what I do. And he say, okay, lol, gonna have trouble later, that's your problem. So you attach everything to that. All those stuff. So if you had to make the working dials, you will have to not attach the needles, have to use a specific texture too, if I'm right. But as we don't care, we're not doing it. Damn, this song is old. It's a good song. Oof. This is gonna be the wine screen. This is gonna be attached to the MISC B. There. Wait. The exhaust is gonna be the exhaust. And the smoke is gonna go out of the axis on the middle there. We're gonna just move that on the back and put a little dummy that have another name to make another smoke going out. This is gonna be on MISC A too, because it's gonna light up. If it's gonna be almost invisible. Steering wheel, tail. Those are glasses, MISC B. The door. The door to the door. So it's gonna be door. The wheel is on the left, so it's gonna be by the way, driver's side. Gonna do another thing to it. Don't care of the window. Put that. The thing on the mirror. The actual mirror. The thing inside. Thing called room. The wood part. And this thing and this thing, I think. Yep. And this is gonna be our MISC D and E, because they won't open at all, because there is no sitting space inside the car for them. So if you wanted to sit on the rear, you have a way to do it. I'm gonna explain later, but for this part it's unnecessary, so I'm not doing it right now, at least not doing it. Door, passenger side front. I fixed it later. Yeah, sing like a duck. This is our trunk. This is the bumper rear. Attach that to it. This is our hood. There is a technique to make them open, but I'm putting this name in this name there so that they won't, because there is no engine. It doesn't look really good when you open it, so it's better to just hide it. Wait, you already attach everything? No way. Quick as fuck. Missed F, I think, because got the E, not D. E, like this. And I said I'm gonna correct the door black thing on it. So it's like that, like that. Come on. Ah. This one and passenger side up. It's headlight glass. Let's use the same. Like this. Should be good like that. So we got a lot of stuff there. Let's just arrange everything. Putting the thing that I gotta delete. Where is the chassis? It's gonna be on top with the name of the car, with it. Call it VDC GZX 110. Put whatever name, you know what to that, but you gotta keep it for when you export and when you make the add-on for that. So I'm gonna just explain after also how to make an add-on car for fiveM, and if you want to make it for regular GTA 5 add-on, I can explain that too. I'll do it in the end of the video, and if I forget, just remind it in the comments or wherever. Go on Discord, say, hey motherfucker, you forgot for the regular card, and I'll be, oh yeah, sorry God. I'm gonna do it right now. So left rear, this one gonna be on the top, A, B, C. Put this once, suspension, grill, roll cage seats, okay. Last hub, this, left rear, steering wheel. Not sure if it's important to place things like that, but I'm doing it because I want it. There are a few things that are very important to be placed properly, but I think that those ones aren't. No, let's just leave that. Exhaust, D, E, don't remember where is the F. No, there is no F. Special grade, rocket seat, exhaust. Hood, trunk, like this. Okay, so we got our base. So now, I'm gonna do a little thing that's boring, but it's quick. I'm gonna put all dummies with their proper names and make lots. I'm doing lots for many things, but this one aren't necessary. Steering wheel, widescreen, stereo. area won't be recognized, so don't care. The door this side front, door B side front, hood trunk bumpers, hood trunk. Even those aren't necessary, I don't care. Bumpers are. Roll cage seats. Cage seats. Wheel LF and wheel LR. So it's important that you name things properly, because otherwise the game won't recognize them at all. So to make lots easy, take one dummy, you uncheck everything there. If anything is checked, you go to convert to compound. On that lock, you press L0 and you take the objects, so the actual chassis, and you put it there, and you unlocked it. So now, if it's done properly, you get your chassis, and if you uncheck the L0, it should disappear. And you do that for everything that we have a name. So there are things that are important to do, there are others that aren't, but that it's good to make them. Shit, it's not this one that I should select. It's where it is, there. So the one I'm making, I'm recommending to do them, and the others, well, don't really care for now. Driver side, passenger side, this, bumper front, bumper rear, and so on. Seats, seats, seats. Wheel. Oh, I didn't done the hubs also. Need to do them. Like this. So now what you do, put the chassis inside, take everything, you put it inside the chassis, and we replace things how they should be. So what I like to do, I put the hub right under the proper wheel. The RF is gonna be before the LR. Doors, bumpers, roll cage seats. Let's put that just like this. Now the lots are done. We have to make the axis for the parts that need one. So we'll start with the wheels. And for that, I'm gonna have to uncamber actually those wheels. So to do so, first of all, you go for the axis placement, go on display, you'll use this one, which will just center to the object when you click. Now that's done. I like to put it as half transparent without wireframe so that I can actually see easier the axis. I zoom in a lot so that I'm sure that it can be as precise as possible, and I put my mouse on the middle of the 3 axes. You don't see the x-axis because we're on the left side, and you press X. Sometimes it doesn't place properly, you can just move it with left click, and sometimes the modeler gives you a little doo-doo-doom sound and it doesn't do anything when you press X. If it happens, just press Alt left on the view and press and do it again with X and it will work. So now we have set the pivot helper on the left side. We have to put it on the front or back view, wherever. So again, you zoom in, not as much as possible, because if you zoom too much it's gonna be completely weird, but enough so that it's precise. So you can replace it with this after. So now it's done. And we're putting the pivot like that because when you want to move something from this position, like for example what we're gonna do, we're gonna rotate the object. What it's doing, it's not taking the axis position of the object but the pivot position. So if it's placed there on the middle, rather than moving, let's say, on the top axis like left and right, like you turn, what it's gonna do is gonna take this position, it's gonna pivot it around it, like that, in circle, around the center. So that's why we did that. And it's not very precise, but I'm gonna just encamber it. You don't really need it to be very precise when you do that. So you take the Z-axis, which is the front and rear, and one of the front or the back view. Put the more grid as possible so that you're as precise as you can be. And I'm zooming in and trying to make a clean line, at least visually, that it is encumbered like that. And now this is prepared. So just to be sure, apply again the middle of the axis on the wheel. And for the rear one, you just have to, when it's not cambered, to put it on the middle. I think it's not, it's cambered too, okay. Left view, slightly cambered.
Ain't nothing but against the party.
Yeah, it's enough.
You done put 2 of America's most wanted in the same motherfucking place at the same motherfucking time.
Rotate again.
Break out the champagne glasses and motherfucking condoms.
As you're using the V-stancer in fiveM or even in solo when you try to camber wheels, it's not even necessary to camber them on the car. So they're prepared like that. These axes are done. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create 2 others for the right side, sorry. Call it right front and right rear. Yep. Left front, right front, rear, okay. So to position the dummies, when you want to make them appear all on the car, take the first one, which is always this one. You isolate it, so that's the isolation tool that you saw multiple times. You go on this one, this tool, that will copy the axis that you click on another object. Just resetting the pivot. And we take it on the right one. So why did he copy it? Because we have this little panel So when you isolate something, it gives you the position, rotation, scale, and various other things. And what you do to make your life easier, because the left side is always the same as the right side for front, and for rear it can be different depending from the front position, but the left one have a position on the wall that is the exact opposite of the right one. That's why we are copying it as it is, and we just negated this value, the X position. And to do that, you have to remember exactly the 6 last digit after the dot, because when you click, it's gonna just erase the 3 last. So 8, it's 8, 1, 3, 1, 6, 5, like this. So you just have to place them back and put a negative value there, and then you apply, and boom. Now the dummy is positioned, and you're sure that when this one will be copied, it will be in the exact right position that it should. And you do the same for the rear one. So you take the rear wheel, if you have done it like me, because sometimes people just want to have like the 4 same wheels, so you just need to have the front left, and then what you do in Blender before exporting, like you don't delete all the wheels, like you can even keep the rear one. You export it with it, and what you do is when you're on ZModeler, I'm gonna do it to show you. You right click to it, you do convert to dummy, and what's gonna do is that it's gonna take the object, it's gonna remove everything that sits in 3D view, and it's gonna just leave at the axis where it was a little dummy. And this will be your guide for where you should place the left one and also the right one. But as we have a wheel there, we just leave it like that, and we have to just copy the axis from this one to the right one there. So same thing, as you see the position isn't the same, it's more on the inside. So there it's 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Up, enter, negate, apply, and dummies are set up. So you're done with the dummies. Now, if I remember well, I have to do this thing. So this little, I don't know how it's called, I'm sorry, is meant in the beginning only for the left front because it's copying on every side. And if I'm right, by doing so and making a little property on the collision, it will just copy the left front from there to the other wheels that did we find. So there is only 4 ones. So these are the 4. So it's just taking this one and checking the lower part of the list. And when it see another one that's a dummy or even a wheel, it's gonna just copy it and paste it at the position reverted to the other side. And I think that when you're putting another one like that, it's gonna say, as I copied this one to this one, and as this one have these little things on the sides, I'm not gonna copy this one to this one, I'm gonna take this one as new wheel and copy it to the other ones. But if you have only one wheel that you want to be copied on the 3 other position, you just leave this one like that, and you just leave a dummy with only the name wheel LR without these little things on the side like this. So that this is done, we're gonna go on the doors axis, because when it's opening right now it's rotating from this position on the middle, so it's gonna just open inside, and we don't want that. So to do so, we're gonna move the axis. So you go on the move tool and you check only move axis only. Then you go on the left view and you see that when you check the door there, you see the axis. So to show the lines, you have to check the wireframe. If you don't want them, just uncheck them. So what you do is you keep left control pressed, because if you want to move things, you're gonna move it all around the view. But if you want to move on the left, you keep control pressed and you move like that. On the side, if you move up, it's gonna go up. But what we want is just that it moves on the left side for now. So we move on the left, we get to the edge of the door and we put it up. so that it something like that. It's just visual. You can't really have a proper position like the perfect one unless you got like all modeled from the chassis to the door, and that you know exactly where are the I don't remember what's the name of the attachment of the door. But unless you don't have that, you can't really have the perfect placement. So what we do is just something that can look good on your car. It's not perfect, but it will be enough. And as it's not modeled there, well, we are already fucked since the beginning. But yeah, we do it approximately properly. So I put it on the middle there. Rear front view. Better on front, because it's gonna take up the front position, yeah. And now that this axis is done, you can copy it to the other side. But as you saw, it's on there. So now we can't take the position because it's the axis position. And if we do bullshit, it's gonna move everything out. So we're gonna do it manually this time. We can't use this thing. So again, same move thing, but we're gonna just move it on the left or the right depending your position. So there, as it's on the front, I put it on the somehow. Don't have to be perfect on the middle. And the door axis are gone. Done, sorry. Like this. Now the steering wheel. So like the wheels, gotta put it on the middle of the wheel, steering wheel this time. And what we're gonna do is gonna set up the axis position to the exact middle like we did for the wheels. So here, yep. And we're gonna take the back view just because I prefer it. Like this, we zoom, not too much. Boom. And now we're gonna rotate the axis only, like we did for the wheel to encumber it. So you're gonna rotate and only rotate axis this time, not the geometry. And this can be perfect too, because you have to place it so that the axis is facing the face of the front of the wheel, the steering wheel. So the best thing to do is to make it first transparent and try to fit at least the middle line. From the green view, looks something like this. Yeah, something like that. Straight going to the back. It's perpendicular to this thing, like this. Okay, so we'll say that this is done. And we are near the end. We are very near the end, so now we're just doing a little more things before importing the collision and trying the car in game. So first of all, how those lights light up, both of them. Okay, so I'm gonna just take these ones and I'm gonna give you a little thing that I'm not really gonna use right now. It's called the needed information. It's a little text file that was made by defend my serial, yeah, and from some information that he took from the forum of the Model 3. It's very useful for those little steps that you have to do for adding a mass to the collisions, adding little parameters like those things. I can't explain really what it is, but it's important to have them if you have a collision. The axis setup for opening boot, bonnets of the hood, all the doors. You got the IDs, what I will use right now to make them lighting, make the lighting. You got some things on the collision to make breakable, like the non-breakable glass surfaces, like cloths and all. I don't know what that is, and things like liveries, about emissions, about suspensions, about emission tuning parts, pop-ups. All is explained there, which is very useful. So what I'm doing there, I'm applying IDs on the lights so that they light and that they're recognized in game properly. For that they work, you need to have at least a dummy that's called the same thing as the light ID that you want to use. So let's say that you have a left headlight that have an ID and a right one, but you don't add the at least a dummy that have the name of the left headlight, but it have an ID. What's gonna do is that if you have the right one will light up properly, and the left one will always be lighting up. You won't be able to put it off. So to avoid that, you're gonna add dummies, and I forgot to do it, so I'm gonna do it right after putting the IDs. So for the left part, here it's the 1. The right part is 2. And what is this little thing there? Sir, you can't be with those people. Those are lights, so the brake light middle or 11. Let's check for the... Yeah, okay, so that's directly this thing that's lighting. I'm not gonna do it like that, I'm gonna make the thing inside them lighting. Because why not? So this is gonna be the actual... It's gonna be the actual tail light. I'm gonna make the little one as brake light. So the tail light is 3. On the left, it's 4 on the right. Come on. Yep. 4. I'm gonna remove also the little things there. Put it as mesh rather than emissive. I'm not gonna add an ID for the indicators. So this brake light is 9. And the other one is 10. Just like this. The reversing light. I don't remember. So it's 12 and 13. So this one is 13. And the music stopped. Yeah. Keep up. I said 12. I'm gonna take those little things out after. I'm gonna do it after. First of all, add this one. So to separate parts, we have a little tool on Modify. It's called Detach Polygon from the object, Detach tool. And you gotta be sure that you have the Keep Original unchecked. Natively it's unchecked, but if you want to copy things that are part of a bigger object, you press Keep Original so that it's gonna just create a copy of them. And then you have to select one of the polygons that you want to detach or copy, like this. So right now, as I wanted to make them not lighting, I think I have the exact thing there. So it's not this one, not this one. Brake LED, I think it's this one. Let me see. No, this one is just a black thing. Brake lamp. That's a badge. It's a badge without having the proper thing on it. Tail, that's a badge. Tail side. I think that this one is. Nah. Shit. Collider, headlight back. Headlight back. Oh yeah, it's the black thing. Ah, it should be this one. I must copy. Nope. What? Where are you? Where is you, my friend? Vehicle lights. Yep. So it's this one. Headlight inside. It's there. Yeah, the modeler is tricking you. As much as it can. Like this. Now I'm gonna remove the little shit on top. There. This one to detach. Again. That. Just check what it is, usually. Yeah, come on. So this thing is gonna be attached to this thing. And this, let's say to the chassis. Cannot attach parents to child. Fuck you. Fuck are you? Nothing is impossible. Okay, now the dummies. So, like I said, left one, okay, save. We are near the end, we're near the end. Keep up, keep up. It's almost finished. At least the first conversion is finished. It's not like the car is finished because you're gonna try in game and see if it's properly done. Headlight right this time. Brake light left. Brake light right. Brake light M. Tail light L. Tail light right. Reversing light left. Reversing light right. And you put that on top of everything else inside the chassis. So, yeah, we're gonna position them so that it's gonna be only the emissive light. The dummy is here for that too. So let's say when you're gonna light up, if you let them on the middle, it's gonna just make a light from the middle to the front, going through some objects sometime. It's not what we want, of course. So it will just be the trail on the front from what I'll do, because on other files I'm gonna just remove the, it's called a corona, okay, it's not the disease, it's just called corona. It's a little dot that appear from the middle and that emit lights around it. So we put it somehow in the middle of the two. And A little inside like that. Okay. This is done. Now we copy on the right side. The same thing, we're gonna put it from its position on the other side. 592.764. Just like that. This one is done. Let's do the brakes now. So the difference between the brakes and the tail light is that the tail light is gonna light up when it's night, when you light it manually also. And the brake lights are gonna light only when you brake. So you can have both of them, only one of them, or none of them at all if you don't want to. So it's the left one, so it's gonna be somewhere there. A little inside, like this, and then copy on the other side, of course. Brake light right. 671, 627. 627. Like this. And what I do is that I copy the tail light on the same position as the brake lights, because it's not important for me where it is actually lighting on the ground. Nah, this one. Ooh, like this. And the middle one is gonna be where the middle is. Obviously. Something like that. And we're gonna also add after the exhaust ones. If you don't add them, no smoke at all. Oops.
Street Science, you're on here. What do you feel when you hear a record like Tupac's new one?
I love Tupac's new record.
Right, but don't you feel like that creates tension between East and West? He's talking about killing people. I had sex with your wife, and not in those words. But he's talking about, I want to see you deceased.
The hell is this beginning of song? What do you think about Tupac? Isn't he harassing you by saying he's gonna fuck your wife? Say it! Tupac was bad! It was... shit. It was what? Oh, it's 7, like this. Shit. Don't need them to appear anymore. And the exhaust too. Yeah, it's this.
Stranger, full of drama like a soap opera. On the curb, watching the ghetto bird helicopters. I observe so many niggas getting 3 strikes, tossed to jail. Swear to pin right across from hell. I can't cry, cause it's home now. I'm just a nigga.
And the little thing I'm doing is that I'm giving it a little curve so that it fits exactly how the exhaust is facing. Just like that. Then you rotate axis and boom. that, and on the front, just take the top view for that. Rotate it on this side, like this. This one is done. Now we just copy it to the dummy, second exhaust. These two, put it on the side, just to be easier to check where it is. Yep, so this is positioned properly. So we got the front lights, fog the indicators, we got the middle lights, the top ones out middle, tail light, brake lights, reversing lights, we got all the dummies, we got all the exhaust things. I'm gonna just do a little tricky trick again. That's only for me, but you can do it if you want to have the same feel of the car. I'm changing the rotation of this axis to 5 to 7, because I feel that the more you change this, the more it's gonna feel quicker. And the collision setup that I'm making for the wheels are a little heavy. It gives a heavy feel to the car, so to be heavy, to slide properly for the collision setup that I'm gonna do, I'm always turning them like that on the front. So I think it's time to save another one. It's almost done. I'm gonna right now put back the paint as it should be on the shader, because if you remember from the beginning, I've put the livery on it, but in fact it should have the empty livery, this one, so that it's paintable, and that after you can just apply the livery yourself. Well, we import the collision and we finish the car. So I think that I'm gonna give you also the same collision I'm using for the Laurel C35 I made, so that if you want that feel you can use it. But if you want to try out to yourself to give your own feel to the car, you can just take the collision from any base car of the game that have a similar overall size, same height, same widthness, like the wideness, I don't know how we say that, left and right position. And you just try with this same car collision over and over until you find something that pleases you. And if you don't want to bother with that, if you like the ones that I was making, just copy paste the one I make and make the same modification as I do. No problem like this. Yeah, I have to make a little converting car pack, C modeler for collision and I don't know, textures. So it's not these ones. So I got the wheel and I got these things there. Just like that. And now they're all here. The car is pretty big, so it's gonna be a little similar to the Laurel, which is probably a cool thing for me. Don't have a lot of work. No. First of all, so what I do when I have a collision, I just try to take the exact same wheel position for it. So it's the same thing as placing it manually, but it's better for you to have the same position. And as I rotate them, I rotate it, you have to unrotate the axis if you already done it, you just copy the position. So now you select it, make it scaling the actual wheel, that. Go on the scale, modify scale. You uncheck everything on the left position there. Be sure about that. And then what you're gonna do is you keep, it's very important to keep shift pressed while you're trying to rescale it. You don't have to actually select it here. You have to select it with the tool, like I did like this. And when it's done, you zoom in to one side and you keep shift press and you left click and you raise it. But I forgot to say and to do, you have to get the middle axis on the proper position. I mean the pivot position. So here, yeah. Left view again. The front. Just like that. And now you can rescale it. I like to take the left view for that. So shift keep pressed and you scale it. Left click, you let left click, but you keep the shift pressed. And to make a proper position, as you see, it's completely squarish there, but it's not really wrong because you got the wheel as squarish too. You gotta try to have the same dimension there and there. It's just visual. You don't have to be exactly at the same position as I am, but that's one way to make it properly. And then if the wheel is too big for the collision, you can even raise the size of the collision on the side, but you don't have to. It's not really important, but you can do it. I think it's not important. Do it anyway, so that you're sure that it's done properly. So we got our left collision, but you need them even if you don't have a wheel object on each of them. So when you copy, when you copy the collision, be sure to uncheck the copies because they have a little thing that is resetted. So now you can put them back, isolate them all, and you go in axis and you put X rather than Y, and it's gonna be good. Do that for the 3 of them. No. X like that, and then copy the axis of each dummies to them. Don't forget for the front, if it's rotated, to put it at 0, and change the name depending of the dummy you're doing. So it's the rear, the right front, so you rename it as right front. Same for the other ones. And the name should stay with, like this. Left rear, don't do the same thing as on the wheel like that. And for the last one, rear right, like this. And then you can put them inside the chassis and inside each of the dummies or of the objects. So the wheels collision are almost finished, but first we're gonna position the normal collision of the car. So I'm gonna just put them inside directly and work with that. So here it's almost the same size, but not really. This car is even bigger than the Laurel, some ways, oh my god. That's a lot. So there is no really good ways to do it. It's approximately the side position of each part. Don't have to be perfect. You can put it a little inside if you want, so that when you're drifting you're not really hitting someone, even if it's on the corner of the, not the corner, of the side of any part. Let's put this one there. This one, we're gonna put it there. No, it's gonna be, yeah, I don't care, it's gonna be somewhere there. So it should be just on the side of the car. And as I said, this is too much outside, so just gonna do the thing, gonna size it, no, pivot origin. Place it a little on back. So it's just for when you're drifting and you're hitting the corner of anything, it's gonna recognize the collision after the bumper there on the sides. So it's not really proper to put it too much on the front or the sides, because even sometimes when you're drifting, you're not hitting the exact side position. So you can like go through this part, but if this little dot is too much on the front, you will hit a wall there and it's gonna look like it's an invisible wall in the front, where it's not, it's just a collision that's not properly done. So we go along to do that. You can do a specific collision for the car in Blender if you want. It's not really necessary, that's why I'm not doing it. But it's possible. That's what I did for the Laurel. That's the collision that you saw. And yeah, just after putting some little properties on it. Okay, just a second. So up like that. Here, I'm gonna put this one on the front. It's gonna look weird, I think, but I don't mind. Shit, not safe. And I'm gonna sneeze. Good that I can just remove the mic. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if the car is properly sized. I'll have to check that right after, because I feel like the collision is so bigger in some ways that it's a little weird. At least for me, it's a little weird to see it like that. It's maybe normal, I don't know. I'll check it, by the way.
Stuck in the county jail, my niggas clown, bring a pound when they post a bail. Smoking blunts in the driveway, my 4-5 screaming fuck the police. Moving flyway.
Just like that. Now let's check the sides. Okay. Let's first do the rear one. Yeah, the rear is easy to do. Yeah, the window is there. On the rear. No, it's good in fact, good enough. So, now the chassis is scaled. What you're gonna do is gonna make a copy. This copy, you're gonna rename it as the one that is there, and you're gonna delete this one, space there, and you put it back inside, and you hide it. And the last one, not the least, is one thing that I don't fucking know what it does, but it have to be done. That's for sure. To avoid any glitch in game. Don't ask me why, like I said, I don't know. So this should be the difference. Yep. Now the sides, of course, to the border of the actual mirrors. No, escape. And now the last thing before trying the car, we're gonna change the collision properties to add what's a flag that I didn't add it, I'm sorry. Front. I am not sure that I'm doing this properly, but on the car when it copied the flags there, I did like that. And no, I'm gonna do it properly. Just like that. And I forgot to change the rear weight. Let's do it like that. The rear weight should be bigger than the front, so I'm putting around 24. 24.5. Like that. This should be A, yeah. This one. Flag. A. 24.5. Apply. And I'm gonna check just something. Okay. The weight is properly done. And it means that we're good to try. At least try to export. First export. Yep. Let's pray that it works properly in the first time. It never works properly. Oh, yeah, I forgot. New folder. PDC, how will they call that? JZX 10. gonna do a folder there. That's just for me. I'm gonna give you all of this. So VDC JZX110. So what's the errors? So this one are normal. Who track? No single unnecessary errors. Amazing. That's really amazing. Like for real. You can just start working with the textures and trying game after everything is set up. People are getting impatient. So I'm gonna take all of this. Just put the light on. So I didn't said it earlier, but for this last part, because I forgot, you need open for. So easy. And you need GTA 5 installed also, because it's gonna ask you, of course, to locate your GTA 5 files. By the way, you can't even play it if you don't have it. You can't even make cards if you don't have it. So yeah, just download it, install it, and it's gonna ask you where is your game file, and you'll be there. So here what I'm doing is that I'm gonna not on this. I'm gonna take another one, YTD file. I'm gonna create it like that, like good new YTD texture. Okay, nice. So right click, new texture dictionary, and you call it exactly like your car. So here it's VDC JZX110 here. And in there you're gonna put all your car textures, everything you used. So VDC, like that, texture, you go there, you add everything. So this is added. Now we add the 3 liveries there. And when it's done, you save. So right now I'm going to where I got my cars, or fiveM. I'm gonna try to spend less time as possible to do it quickly. Like this. I'm going on stream. Put it the YTD inside. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. It's already there. So now we got our textures, we got our file. You have to copy it and rename it as HY in the end. It's like that, don't ask him why. So right now we're not still ready to try in fiveM. So you're able to try it in fiveM only if you have a fiveM local server. If you don't have one, you can create one in the fiveM website. They're giving you the whole folder to create it, and you have to spend some time understanding how it works. I'm not covering that on the tutorial because I don't really know myself. I got like a folder prepared already. So yeah, just do it as I said. This is being transparent, I don't like it. So as you can see, there is nothing that looks glitchy, unless like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you remember that, it's gonna probably look like that, all the carbon parts are looking glitchy. and in game I think it's gonna be the same thing. So we will have to like correct that quickly. We got our wheel inside, it's not on the side. This happens sometimes. Don't really mind it. Try it in game before starting to cry. All the textures are appearing. Yeah, unless we're going too far there. I'm gonna check also in game. So yeah, I just open it to see if there are glitchy textures, and it looks like there are not. So you're gonna have on the pack I'm gonna giving you on the video description those files. So this is the basic looking of the car server folders. So inside, if you don't know how to do it, you just give all the folder prepared with all changed to the guy who had the server. You put on the stream folder everything which is the car and textures, and if you have tuning parts you can put them inside too. And if you don't know how to do them, I will maybe make a video about that. I don't know, just ask and I'll make it. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna adapt the files to work to recognize the car. So I'm using a text editor, it's called Sublime Text. It's more for programmers, but you don't care. You can take whatever you want, but this one is useful. If you want it, it's free. So it's saying unregistered because you can pay it to have the full version, but I'm not. And the only thing that changes from the paid version is that every 100 saves, it's not popping you a window saying thank you for using Sublime Text. If you want to buy it, please buy it, and this thing. So when it happens, you just have to close this window and it will working. So here I have all set for my my conversion of the VDC C6 Corvette. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take the name, so that's the full name of the car, and you're gonna replace it for the one that you actually made. So here is this one. And after you have numbers there, you have others there, and you have a lot of them after. You don't have to change all of this. Here, just take a random number from 1000 to, I don't know, 6000, something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm only using from 2000 to 3000. Because all the early numbers are maybe taken by other people or other GTA cars, so it's good to have a big number. So here I'm gonna just 2136 for example, and just adding 1 there and there. So it's important to remember those ones because you're gonna use it again for other folder and at the end of this one, I think. So 2156 in there, 2137, you go full down. No, there is nothing there. You're gonna go on there. No, it's not this one. Am I missing something? There it is, where there is the lights here. And you're gonna put the same ID value that you have here, and you put it there, so it's 2137, as you can see. 2137. And then you save. After, take the other file, change the name there for the one that you made. You go completely down. Here you change the number, the name, and here the number of the light settings. Then you keep going on the handling. Put the name that you want. You're gonna have a base drift handling. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't care. And then for the last folder, last file, sorry, the thing that is cool with this program is that you can do this thing. Find all and done. So what I did, I just searched for a thing, find them all, and everything where they are, they're gonna be highlighted like this, this, and they're gonna change wherever they are on this file. But you don't have to bother with that. And when this is done, the car is ready to be tested. So what I have to do is, I'm gonna keep that there, got that, took another file there, so I have to add it to the server, like this, GCDX. Yeah, so that's the window. Would you like to purchase a license? Unregistered evaluation version, and most of the things are already unlocked, so you don't care. Now this is saved. Just launch the server and I will try it in fiveM. So, wasn't that hard, right? Just taking a lot of time, and I can't even remember how it was when I didn't know even how to use the modeler at all. Like I was doing just little things, and there are a few others that I don't even know how to do them. Oh, and I forgot to do something on the car. Ah, shit. Shit. I think I forgot to do I just remember. The hub position. No, I'm gonna do something before. The wheel on this dummy. Wait, no, I don't need to do that. I have to do directly what I was thinking. On the hub, it should have the same axis as the wheels on the front. So you'll see in game it's gonna just glitch, turn around in a weird way. And this is all normal, so that's gonna be the first glitch that you will see on the car, I think. So we're gonna fix that right after. So, okay. Go. Launch. Couldn't find resource 180S6. There is no resource 180S6. Let it on the server.
Represent to the fullest being soldiers for military minds that play the rules of the game. 21 guns salute. I salute you, my niggas, stay strong. I ride for you, I rhyme for you, I roll for you, it's all for you. It's all you bitch made niggas, I'm coming for you. Against all odds. I don't care who the fuck you is, nigga. You touch me, I'm at you. I know you motherfuckers didn't think I forgot. Hell nah, I ain't forgot, nigga. I just remember what you told me. You said don't go to war unless I got my money right. I got my money right, nigga. Now I want war.
Gonna just open it really quickly. So, will it work? Aha! No, it's not working. I forgot a dummy, and it's normal. Crashing! So, the car is working, as you can see, but I forgot a dummy. 2 dummies. 4 dummies for the doors. At least transparency work. The lights should be there. Must check if the color is proper for that thing. And as you can see, the lower part should be black. Isn't black. I'm gonna correct that. this looks a little weird. I was sure that the mapping wasn't exactly right on that. Yeah. Inside it looks somehow okay. This thing should be black too. The wheels, okay. They all appeared, which is nice. So I did it from first time. Okay. So let's see what's not properly done. So the dummies I was talking about, yeah. So it's actually the handle, driver side front, handle passenger side front, seat driver side front, and seat passenger side front, like this. So the driver side is gonna be on this side. Gonna feel weird because the character is gonna just go for the left door and appear inside the car, but we don't really care. At least for the conversion. If you want to do it better, there is a way, but I'm sorry, I don't know it. So the driver's side seat is on the left, obviously. So we're gonna position it to the middle. Like this, and we're gonna lower it. Put it more on the front. Now copy the position for the handle like this and revert it. 830228. Remove the negative thing, and we're gonna try to make it fitting on the other side, same way. 40557. Shit. 40579. 29. Like this. Trying to do it quickly. It's a French rap? What the fuck? How did it pass from Tupac to French rapping musics? Whatever. Handle seats. Let's just put there. Don't care. Oh, he said marijuana. Oh my god. And yeah, fuck, didn't correct the thing on the black part there. I just put it black. Fuck that. Black. And carbon mesh. Gonna correct everything. And these things. Now, again, exporting, copy paste this, HY, and sorry, and we're gonna launch the server.
Chez toi, Gringo, elle sautera au nom du Père, du Fils et du Sentenza. Amen. Tu serais sec si tu n'es pas chaud. Prépare un bon space gazpacho pour tous les sales muchachos de ma clique, le squad des squads rascal. Ton ton Pedro Pascal. Tu prendras bien un spatial verre de mezcal un poquito. Débarque avec un kilo pour les mythos. Lâché, non c'est moi avec un pancito.
Ok.
Bragu, cagou, chez vous y'a plus de sous. Attention le ladre, prépare un mauvais coup. Un larcin, un truc de merde, non qu'à nada. Tu connais Sentenza qui donc fait péter la banque. Cache le choc, cache ton bloc, voilà les troupes de choc. Shit squad de retour pour un smoke tour armé de stock. Lourd plat du jour, space cake, allumé. Mais chalumé, atmosphère embrumée. F, fumé, à fond défoncé à la Sensi. C'est ça qui m'incite, Don Choa. Hannibal Smith, agence du shit, arrivage de choix. Ici on est à Marseille mon frère, sorti du droit du container. Le produit qui te met à l'envers. Tu filaires les jouets, mieux que les chiens de la douane volant. Fume des mixtures à base de boulettes brûlantes, herbe collant. Production Tonton Pedro.
Come on.
Tu connais les faits. Je roule avec le shit squad et ses doigts de fait bébé.
I think it's the S15 that makes it taking so long time to load. Just remove it.
J'ai pas à te dire ce qu'il faut faire pour entrer dans la partie. Fils, tu m'as bien compris. Je crois qu'il y a des vapeurs, représente l'odeur. Premiers symptômes qui font sur moi speed et alors je suis d'humeur. On pourrait croire que j'intègre le squad quand je compte mes histoires de fantasy à la Stormbringer. Ce que j'ai dit, fils, ça veut rien dire, mais sous l'emprise du shit, le squad c'est un hit.
Shut up, baguette. Okay, nice. That's nice. In fact, the brake lights and the brakes are properly placed, so that's cool. I don't know for those rear lights. Gotta check after the video, probably make it maybe more transparent, taking the texture that I messed with and based less layer than I did. And that's gonna be it after placing up the dummy for the seat's position. Same for the other one, I think. And for the other guy who's gonna sit on the left. Yeah, this plastic, well, it's too shiny, so I don't really mind that. Mirrors are somehow working. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just correct a few things, it's gonna be done. So for the textures, just this one that I pasted too much. Let's try again. PNG. Yes. So I don't have to change anything on the car actually. For that seating position. Yes, I have to put it a little up. It's too much down. Something like this. How's the texture called? 10 map opaque. 10 map opaque. Nice. Doesn't even change anything. Wait. Is it a mesh? Or a badge? It's a badge. What the fuck? Okay. It's not the good one. I was using this one for nothing. Where is the texture? It's this one. Put it at 190, I think. It's gonna be good. Where is it? There. Just like this. It could be even more. Maybe 2 and 10. The exhaust. Say that I need to make a double of it. Yeah. So up, flip the texture so that from the outside you see the inside also. Like this, this is done, this is done, the height is the proper one. Yeah, a little more thing. This should be black. We're gonna make it black.
regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good too.
And it's written headlight black. And it's not a black texture. Like what the fuck game? It's not game, it's me in fact. Didn't put it black initially. And now export.
Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweak. All of you search know what's up with 213.
So I hooked select on 21 and Lewis. Some brothers shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out the rock and said, what's up? Some brothers pulled some gas, so I said, I'm the stuff.
These girls peeping me, I'm gonna glide and swerve. These hookers looking so hard, they straight hit the curve. Want to bigger, better things than some horny tricks. I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix.
I'm getting jacked, I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they taking Warren's wealth. They took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next?
They got my homie hemmed up and they all around. Can't none of them see him if they going straight pound for pound. They wanna come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my strap and lay them busters down.
They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my own town. If I had wings, I would fly. Let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my homie Nate.
16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate. My mind back into freak mode. If you won't skirt, sit back and observe. I just left a gang of those over there on the curb.
Now they got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on N-A-T-E enemy. The woman to the G.
Just like I thought, they went in the same spot. In need of some desperate time.
And I still didn't make the color properly. Ah, fuck me. Forgot to do it. It's very important. Unless you don't want to paint the car. Just a stupid thing to do. Here, you gotta add on the name this shitty thing. And now the car will be paintable. Okay, let's try again. Fuck. So?
Then you high like every day. And if your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate.
Is it transparent? Fuck you, Photoshop. Come on. Should be. Again?
Yo, are you afraid to die? Or do you want to live forever? Tell me, what's wrong?
They wanna bury me, I'm worried. I'm losing my mind, look down the barrel of my 9 and my vision's blurry. Falling to pieces, am I guilty? I pray to the Lord, but he ignores me. Unfortunate because I'm guilty. Show me a miracle, I'm hopeless. I'm choking on marijuana smoke. With every token, it's like I'm losing focus. Falling asleep while I'm in service. When will I die? Forever paranoid, nervous because I'm high. Don't
maybe 2 hours, something like that. Take a fucking long time to upload. Now it's paintable. You can already see the difference. Check. Just like that. Yeah, I didn't make the inside of the door. Gonna do that, but after the video. Yeah, it's almost invisible right now, which is normal. The front is lighting properly. Yep. Well, I think that this is it. How to convert a car to fiveM. Assetto Corsa. The car is working properly. Got a good drift handling. At least for me it's a good one. It's a little slow. Like you're gonna see this car probably in full boost and it's gonna feel less slow in my opinion. It's using something close but with other values that can't be affected by the car. See actually the auto delivery. It's max speed tracks open again. Okay. Well, for the one who survived the whole video, first of all, GG. It was probably a long one to follow from beginning. I mean, to do everything without knowing exactly what you do. And if you ended up making it properly, well, I'm really happy for you. Because it means that I did things properly. And if you're blocked in any way, anywhere, you can just hit me up on YouTube. You can leave a comment if you're locked, or you can maybe even add me in Discord. I'm gonna leave my tag on the description. And yeah, I hope you're gonna have fun converting cars now. But don't forget, ask for permission first.